Did you make the logo in the corner bigger?
Yep.
Looks huge.
Looks good. I like it. All right.
What about the new logo?
I can. Oh, I didn't add it into the what do you call it yet. I can add that in.
To the overlay?
Yeah, I have to make a separate file for that.
Okay.
We're live.
Oh, we're live. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is going on, everybody? Frank here for the Bakersfield Gentleman and Brother Miguel here at Culebra's Lounge in Bakersfield, California, guys. Real quick, started off the show. We did not actually watch Mayans today, but it's okay because we got plenty of other stuff to talk about. Obviously, The Offer had a new episode. The first 3 episodes of The Boys came out on Friday, and we had Hell in a Cell on Sunday.
Yeah, you know what sucks though is that most of the shows before we started, before the beginning of the year, most of the shows came out like Tuesday, Wednesday, even Monday, and now they're all coming out Thursday, Friday, or the weekend.
Yeah,
like we're trying to save it all for Wednesday for you guys, and now it's messing it up something fierce. All right, hey Robert, how you doing? Eduardo, how's it going?
I'm gonna do a little bit of sharing.
Do me a sharing. Tag what's his name for me too, please. Guys, we are smoking a new brand to us, and hopefully you guys will check it out with us. It is Benavides, as says in the description there. Hey, Leo, how you doing? Enjoying from Stone Castle, I'm assuming. And this is we're still debating how to pronounce this. Mogaton. Either way, it is a Maduro box press, as you can see. This very nice box press, too. I mean, this guy, there we go. Yeah, it's not going to roll anyway. I love that. Dennis, how you doing, brother? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to remove this footband. Again, this is my first time with this brand at all. This was gifted to us by the owner and a good buddy of ours when we were over at the warehouse, Cigar Warehouse.
Yep.
Is it Sherman Oaks?
Sherman Oaks,
yeah. I always just say LA, but there's a million little cities in LA if you guys know how it goes. Let's see, make sure. Oh, that's Toledo, okay. But as Frankie said, no update as far as the Mayans yet. So if anyone's watched it, go ahead and spoil it for me because I want to know what happens. I don't care if I watch it first before I know what happens. I want to know what happens next. I don't care how I figure it out.
Yeah.
As long as I hear about it.
Yeah, they from the last episode that we did get to see, it is getting pretty damn intense. So
better and better.
Definitely want to see what is going on next with the Mayans. But obviously, I do want to watch the episode as well.
Hey, Lewis, how's it going? Checking in from Wichita, Kansas, over on the Air Force Base, McConnell Air Force Base. Very nice. Let me see. This guy's got fuel, yeah?
They all have fuel now.
Now they do. Thank you. We got Peter in the background here. He is he's standing there shirtless. I don't understand what he took it off for. We're inside the lounge. It feels great in here. You don't need to do that. I'm just kidding, by the way.
More for you.
Oh, I appreciate it. So we're gonna wrap the episode early then, guys. Now.
All right, so I've done some sharing.
I did a fucking horrible job lighting this. These first few puffs are not going to be indicative of what the cigar can be because I feel like I burnt it a little bit right there. Not great. Again, the whole idea is to put the flame further away from the cigar so you don't burning.
Whoa.
Don't do that either. Whatever that was, don't do that.
I was just making sure that it had plenty of fuel. I wasn't going to light it just yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely makes sense.
But let's start with the one we've been waiting for the longest, The Boys. Season 3 premiere of The Boys over on Amazon Prime. And if you guys have seen the first season or the first 2 seasons, the show can get pretty messed up. And it did not disappoint.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was going to say. The first scene gets real graphic, real raunchy, real quick. So if you have a weak constitution, that kind of stuff, I wouldn't bother watching that. But if you're okay and you like really good dark humor series, this is going to be right up your alley, okay?
Yeah.
Leo says, would be a doctor appointment Monday. Have to have surgery on the left shoulder due to the fall on Easter for the first orthopedic who can't perform the surgery. I need to have 3 to 4 tears. Oh, my gosh, brother. Dang. Well, we are praying for you, and I hope it goes okay. My God, that sounds terrible. I hope you're doing all right now, at least. That does not sound the business.
Yeah, everyone knows exactly what we're talking about. That first episode, the first 10 minutes are super messed up. I don't want to describe it because I don't want to give it away. I hope you guys actually go take a chance to go watch the show. I think it's still a really, really good show. But yeah, that first 10, 15 minutes is very, very out there. And I think if you can handle that first 10 minutes, you'll be able to handle the rest of the show.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're fine after that. I mean, it's hilarious stuff throughout the entire thing. But that first bit, oh man. I mean, if you could watch a Jackass movie, you'll be fine watching that.
Oh yeah,
It's if they had superpowers, that's what Jackass would do.
absolutely.
So yeah,
absolutely. So again, you guys, we are smoking Benavides cigars, Magatone. That's what I want to say. It is.
Oh, it's like reggaeton.
And it's and it's the Maduro box pressed right here, you guys.
It's actually very nice. I'm getting like a chocolate and mintiness. It's kind of weird for me. I've never really described that before. I've not had the Java Mint. I still have never smoked that. I hear it's really nice. People like it, but it doesn't come for me. And I never would go like, man, I really need some mint in my cigar. Like that's what's missing right now. Never thought of that. Right now, there's something like refreshing right on the tip of my tongue. It's like a mint spice. Like
I'm getting a lot of spice. That's all I'm getting right now. I'm cinnamon spice.
I'm getting spice, but different kind. It does not remind me. I guess it could be kind of cinnamon.
Yeah,
it's like when you're chewing really powerful gum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting right now. But I don't. Cinnamon doesn't come to mind first.
It's like it tastes just like Big Red.
Yeah, exactly like chewing on Big Red gum to me. That's what it is.
I would have no problem with that being a cigar. If Big Red wants to partner with a cigar company and make a Big Red flavored cigar, I might try that.
Yeah,
I might try that. I mean, it might be really difficult to smoke because I think that might be a little too intense, maybe too refreshing. That's the danger right there. Too refreshing.
But all in all, the boys, you guys starting off really well. I was really mad though that they gave us just 3 episodes. I'm a big fan of either once a week or give us the whole damn series, because just those 3 episodes that they really get you hooked and you can't wait to see what's next. Yeah. But you get irritated.
Cut you off.
They really, really do. At least if it's 1 episode at a time, I understand. Hey, I'm gonna have to wait. But why tease me with the first 3 just to make me wait for the rest? But yeah, it started off really, really strong, and I can't wait for Friday to see the next episode.
Oh hell yeah! Now, Eduardo might know this. He's a comic book reader, such as quite a few of us are out there. I haven't had a chance to really read The Boys. I just did some research online about characters and stuff because it was really interesting to me. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go a little deep dive into this. People did some really cool YouTube videos about it. And the new characters they are portraying are vastly different from their comic book origins. Like, it's not really a spoiler because Soldier Boy's in the commercials and whatnot.
Right.
Gosh, what is the Congresswoman's name? Oh my goodness.
Oh jeez.
It's not Nadia. Nadia is her.
Nadia was her name.
Yeah, it gets confusing on that part. But the character she's playing is actually kind of based off another character in the series that didn't have powers, but she does have powers. You find that at the end of last season. It's kind of good the way they're doing it because if you told it exactly like the comics, I don't think it would play as well on
and I don't think there's ever been like a little adaptation of comic books into movies or TV shows.
Except for
most of them have always been they'll take a story from a comic book and tweak it.
Yeah, they might add a little bit from here or their own twist to it.
Because I mean, the one that comes to mind the most to me that irritated the shit out of me was Civil War. I know it had taken a lot to get the Fantastic Four and the X-Men in on it, but that's how it should have been. That was the real Civil War in the comic books, and that's how it should have been on the movie. And since they didn't have the rights to those characters at the time, they went with what they had, which was still a really good movie. It was the first introduction of Spider-Man in the MCU, which I thought was really cool. But when they had the name Civil War, I was really bummed that we didn't get all the characters that we should have had in it. Well, I mean, at the very least, they should have had Cloak and Dagger.
I don't care for Cloak and Dagger.
I'm a big fan.
Characters. What do you call it? Civil? I love Civil War. It was a lot of fun to watch. It had nothing really to do with Civil War as far as other than Registration Act, kind of. It wasn't even really the Segovia Accord.
Yeah.
They same plot with the skeleton crew of who they had. If they would have waited one more phase, I guess they would have had a lot more characters to work with.
Yeah.
Or they would have had a lot. God damn it.
Why are you getting phone calls?
Because it's keep talking.
All right. Anyways, guys, Miguel's getting a phone call. I don't know why. He should have had his phone
It is on. It is.
Do Not Disturb.
On Do Not Disturb. Yet people can still call me.
So I don't know how Miguel does that.
It makes no sense. I thought Do Not Disturb meant don't fucking call me. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, see, Eduardo knows what's up.
Checking in from Rocky Cigars in Syracuse, New York. Very nice. I would love. I've never smoked a cigar in New York. I've only been to New York once, but I want to go back just to have a cigar in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me out here? Because I don't know the rules as far as Central Park goes. Is there like smoking areas? Because like here in California, you can't smoke on the beach. I'm wondering if it's a similar rules as far as like public spaces. So I get no smoking in like heavily populated spots, but when you're at the beach, just for West Coast here, you're pretty spaced out usually.
Yeah.
Like you have room. It's pretty well ventilated if you've been to the ocean. Pretty well, I assume. I've never seen the system they use called the Earth, but anyways, Michael, if you help me out with that, what is it? What is the rules to smoking a cigar in Central Park? I would love to know.
And Eduardo knows what's up because he's also a fan of Cloak and Dagger. He said they brought him back in the Savage Avengers series recently. And as far as the TV show goes, I only saw the first 2 episodes, I think it was. I know I saw the first one for sure, and I was getting into it. It was about the same time I was watching the Inhumans TV show, which I was also a big fan of. I was really happy they brought back Black Bolt for Doctor Strange 2. I thought that was really cool. But it's the same guy that's playing him.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought that was really cool. But I gotta finish up Cloak and Dagger. I gotta watch New Mutants. I gotta go back and rewatch Inhumans. I was really bummed that they got canceled. I was really digging the series. I was into it.
I never really watched it. A couple of things though I wanted to touch before I get back to these comments. I will get back to those comments, guys. The only thing is, if they would have saved Civil War any later, you wouldn't have Robert Downey Jr. You wouldn't have what's his name, Chris Evans, Captain America. You wouldn't have Vision. You wouldn't have what they were able to do. They had to move it forward to fit the timeline with the people they had.
I think they have known that they were going to get the rights back, they would have tweaked the storylines to where they still had those characters.
But just because you want to have those characters doesn't mean you're going to have their contracts. Because Robert Downey Jr. already done it for a decade. Sooner or later, you want out.
They would have thrown more money at him, and he would have known that the fans were looking forward to this. If it was a true Civil War comic book storyline, that he loves the fans so much, and I'm sure the same with Chris Evans, and I'm sure it's the same with what's his name, Paul.
Oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Vision.
What's
his last name?
Oh,
Bettany.
Yeah.
That they would have stayed on for the fans to do that movie and do it the right way.
That's a lot of maybes. That's a whole lot of maybes in there.
No, I believe
either they did it or they're not going to do it at all. That's an absolute right there. That's what we would know for sure up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
But real quick, hey Tom, how you doing? Good to see you. Says outside, so outside's okay to smoke at, but it's a 75% cigar tax. We feel we're close to that here.
Yeah, we're at
very
60.
close.
I think we're at 68.5 now.
Wrestling question: is CM Punk injured? Real? Yeah, it's a real injury. He had to get surgery.
6 months. I hear is his timeline.
Him, Cody Rhodes.
I mean, we're going to talk about Hell in a Cell in just a minute, but
those two, AJ Styles got a really bad cut and concussion during the match, and gosh dang it, Daniel Bryan, or what is it now?
Leslie, how you doing? Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson. I don't hate that name. I know it's the one he wrestled for, but whatever. He's also injured.
Every time I see him wrestle, and I only watch it on YouTube because I don't really watch AEW all that much. I'm a very strict WWE guy. Him and Edge wrestle, and they take bumps that involve them hitting the canvas really hard. I'm like, dude, they're gonna break their necks and they're gonna be paralyzed this time.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to watching.
Very, very nerve-wracking watching them get into it.
But and then you have what's his name who got injured before that, like a month ago. Oh my gosh, Big E. So there's a lot of injuries happening lately. I think a lot of those guys are older guys though.
Yeah,
like Cody Rhodes isn't that old, but he's getting up
36.
There. That's pretty old for a wrestler. No, I guess that's not that old for a wrestler, but he's in
his prime.
CM Punk's older, Daniel Bryan's older, and again, they're not super old by any means. But when you're friggin' falling on your face all the time and getting hit with stuff, it's gonna take a toll on you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
What about Orton? Orton, I don't think it's a real injury. I think it's a minor surgery, and he's gonna be back pretty soon.
Yeah, because they're talking about him wrestling at SummerSlam versus Roman Reigns.
which, I mean, why even bother? Because you're just going to lose. But whatever.
I mean, I don't know if anybody out there is a big Roman Reigns fans or not. I am not. I've never been a fan of his. The only time I actually was cheering for him was when he was part of the Shield. That's because I liked Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, a lot better.
And they worked together really well as a unit.
Yeah,
but
better.
I feel that they have been shoving him down our throats so much. Like, even at the last pay-per-view he was at, he was getting booed, and they had to kind of cut from the people booing him. So, I mean,
great.
they can say he's the biggest name in wrestling, but it's horrible. It really is.
I mean, everybody knows the biggest name in wrestling is still the Hurricane. He's always going to be, all right? Just this the perfect persona, all right? I enjoy him with Paul. Yeah, definitely better than it was before. A lot better. That he's trying to be a little more of like a heel kind of situation. Where is it? Richard, I don't know if I said hello, but I want to make sure I did. And Eduardo says you guys could do a 30-minute comic podcast. That would be all you guys. I do love comics. I just don't read as many as I would if I could, I guess.
Now, a buddy of mine, of ours actually, he actually owns a couple comic book shops. One in Ventura, one in Newbury Park, called Arsenal Games and Comics.
Yeah.
And I mean, this guy has been into comics since he was a kid. I remember we all used to work for his dad at Battlefield Adventures, a surplus shop in Ventura. They're the ones that would sponsor our paintball team to go do tournaments and stuff. So we'd work there. And when we go to his house, he literally had a bedroom for comic books. Like, this room was stacked with comics. And I'm pretty sure that's probably his first inventory that he had. But he's done so well. He's actually been nominated for several awards over at Comic-Con down in San Diego.
Yeah.
And he actually got flown over to talk in front of Congress about small businesses through Facebook stuff. So he's doing really well with comics. I would love to get him on the show and talk comics. Maybe do a monthly thing where we talk about all the new comic books that came out that month, all the new storylines that are coming out. Maybe get some movie talk in there as well. But I'll have to talk to him about that because he's really busy. I mean, he is killing it with his shops.
He's working.
So he's working hard, but it'd be fun to get him on the show and talk comics with him. I'm not as into comics I used to be, but I definitely still like him.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Oh, you met him? Oh, my gosh.
Big Cass, I heard, is coming back
I
to
hope
WWE.
Ryback doesn't come back.
I am not a fan of Ryback whatsoever. Like, he's always talking shit on Instagram or on Twitter. And then he said something. Oh, he said something about Cody Rhodes' pec. He was like, I don't know why he's complaining. Kofi Kingston wrestled his entire career without any pecs. And
That's pretty funny.
I was like, why is this dude so bitter? Oh, that's right, because nobody wants to work with him.
Nobody wants him around. Yeah. It's that cousin that you don't want at your house. So you're like, oh, I'm not there right now. Sorry. This is what it is.
It looks like a edge knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
But they wanted to bring back Big Cass. I don't remember if it was Culture or somebody that was saying that they want to bring him back as somebody's cousin or brother. I forget who. I think it might have been Edge. I got to go back and look at the story.
I guess he could be a really tall version of Edge.
Yeah.
I guess they kind of look a little bit alike. I don't know. I don't see it that much, I guess. Yeah.
Mac Green in the 6x60 is a huge seller in New York. I'll have to look into that one.
What do you call it? The 6x60 has always been a conundrum for me because I see a lot of guys smoking them, enjoying them. I prefer a smaller ring gauge, but sometimes you get those blends that are in that size, and it works really well. Like they have the Lunatic in that size; it works really well.
They had the Rare Leaf.
That one is actually pretty decent.
Yeah,
I prefer
called the Titan.
I prefer a smaller ring gauge.
And of course, it's summer. It's going to be summer soon. So as trends go, people tend to buy smaller ring gauge cigars because it's hot. They don't want to stay outside too long. Not everybody has a spot where they can go and smoke. People can't smoke in the house.
Rough.
So they don't have an area like Culebras or any lounge nearby where they can do it. So get back in the house where it's AC.
There you go. Yeah, the Flathead's got that 6x60, which is really nice. Again, there are plenty that work in that size. I just prefer. I wouldn't say I'm going to stick with the Robusto or Toro all the time,
right?
But they're smaller ring gauge cigars out there.
Different cigars hit different for different people, and they like that size of that particular cigar. Just because you can't always say, "Oh, I'm just a Robusto guy," because what if that Lancero for that blend hits you better, or what if the Torpedo you like better? You know what I mean?
What are some defects in cigars with high humidity? The more humidity, the harder it's going to keep lit.
Yeah, it won't stay lit. The tobacco will just be too wet and it won't combust properly. You'll get tunneling, you'll get canoeing, you'll get a runner.
Constant relight, which means you're constantly going to burn your leaf,
Yeah.
which means it's not going to taste the same. That the more humidity, the more chance you have of mold happening. So if your entire humidor is over humidified, leave it open for a little bit. I mean, if you really want yours at a higher one, I've heard some guys like, oh, I keep mine between 75 and 80. Sounds pretty high in my opinion, but if that's what you like to smoke it at,
and that's a big reason I do not recommend using the floral foam that comes in humidors. Also, I'm not huge on beads. I do use some beads sometimes, but I much rather would use water pillows or Bovitas because they keep that constant humidity.
Yeah.
They're two-way, so they'll absorb or release depending on the needs of that humidor at that time.
Those beads last friggin' forever.
They do.
If you keep it closed, like our buddy, you can kind of move your arm for a second. Our buddy John has got that humidor right there. Beautiful dark wood with the glass. Even with the glass, which we've talked about this before, glass tops tend to release humidity if the seal isn't proper on there. It's a little easier than your actual seal because you can wet the cedar and it's a better seal. But you can't really do that for glass.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. But that thing has been kept humidified, he said, for a couple of months.
But
the beads he has in
there,
does
use a Bovita Butler, so he knows what it is from his phone.
Yeah, but even if you didn't know, it's still humidified.
Yeah.
That's really impressive how well it works.
Yeah, because it does have the gauge on there, and he had bought that from another member that left, and the gauge was no longer working. And so I saw it was at 50, and so I called him and said, hey, John, your humidor's at 50. Do you need to come check this stuff?
You want us to do something?
And he's like, no, it's good. It's good. The gauge is broken. I got the Butler. I've got it on my phone. I'm good. I was like, all right.
Idiots. Don't ever look at my shit again. That's what he told us. And then he hit Frankie. I was like, whoa, that's rough, but do it again.
That's because he was swiping cigars.
Thomas, how you doing? So Michael keeps his at between 68 and 70. And again, depending on where you're at, how humid it is or how dry it is, that'll depend on where you should keep it. Obviously, you're in a drier area. Yeah, you want to keep them a little bit more humidified. That way, once you take them out, they don't dry up on you right away. If you're somewhere where it's super humid, keep them a little drier. So when you're outside in the wet air, it won't mess it up too bad. 75
is really high in my opinion, and I don't mind it, especially in Bakersfield. Sometimes it gets really friggin' dry here, which is not an issue because I don't like humidity outside. Humidity in the cigar, good. Humidity outside, keep me away from it. Real quick, Thomas, how you doing? Thank you, appreciate it. Again, we're having Benavides for the first time on the show. This is the
Maduro.
The Maduro. We'll just go Maduro. Thank you. Appreciate that. So if you guys want to try that out, be sure to check them out.
The Cigar Medic, I think Mark mentioned Cigar Medic. I actually like the Cigar Medic. I don't use it as often as I should. We do have one. It was gifted to us.
Pretty dang good, though.
But as far as I know, and as far as people that have them that have talked to me about them, they're really accurate within a degree or two. So I highly recommend if you want to really check and you want to get a Cigar Medic, I would recommend getting it. I think they're a really great product.
It's worth it. It's a smaller investment for a larger investment because I think they're like $50 topping out there. And I mean, you buy 10 cigars and you already double that easily. So it's nice to have something that's a little more reassurance than just a little hydrometer on the front or inside here. It's just a little extra insurance.
So Richard saying it's humid over in Texas. Yeah, I remember the first year we went out to Dallas, I had my sea bag. And I was like, I didn't want to take luggage, so I was like, I'll just take my sea bag. That's cool. And of course, I had my carry-on.
Yeah.
So I throw my sea bag over my shoulder, and we're walking out of the airport to walk to the hotel because it's right across. And as soon as I step out, I just feel wet, and I was like, nope, let's go back. I'm done. I don't care.
No more of this. Yeah. Real quick though, Michael asked, question: does California do you have cigar lounges with alcohol? There are a couple.
They're usually grandfathered in, but it's mostly beer and wine.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple on Indian reservations where they're allowed to sell alcohol as far as liquor goes.
But that's different rules.
Yeah, different rules for that. And I'm gonna excuse myself real quick. I have to hit the restroom.
Do what you gotta do. I know a lot of them. This is just gentleman to gentleman. We're just talking about this. A lot of them will have a whatever in your cup is your own business situation. A lot of locker establishments that have lockers. Keep a bottle in there. It's yours. It's your personal property, whatever. And then guys will share from time to time. I've seen a couple where there's like tastings where a liquor company will come out and they will pair with a cigar, depending on what either the shop or maybe a rep is in town. They want to do that. We got to hang out with Brian and go to a Hennessy tasting and like crash course on Hennessy, which was really fun. Not really. They didn't focus on the cigar part. We just brought cigars, everyone, and it was a lot of fun. But that wasn't a lounge, so I guess that's not really the same. But I can think of at least 3 or 4, one even in town, that has a beer and wine license. But like Michael, like none in New York, the grandfathered in ones. Those are the ones that you can still drink at. It was really fun. I think when I was in Texas, there's a Old Town cigar lounge or Old Town cigar shop in Old Town, DFW. It has 3 seats and a tiny table. And like, oh, there's nowhere to sit here. Do you know where we can go smoke these, or is it, can we wait for some seats? Like, oh, if you don't want to wait, you can go next door to the bar, smoke in there, order a drink and food if you want. And I go in here and I can order food and an actual whiskey drink and smoke my cigar, and no one's batting an eye about it. And that was beautiful. My God, I wish it was like that here. I wish there was at least some places. Not everywhere has to be smoke friendly. I get it. But just if you are running an adult establishment and you would like to cater to those adults who like cigars, you should have the option to do so, I think. Whatever. I guess I'm wrong. I guess I'm crazy. Government needs to do whatever they can to protect us from ourselves. Doesn't make any sense to me, but I digress on that point. California. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Good to see you. And yeah, do what you got to do. The shop I work at is no alcohol, but red solo cup. Yeah, that's we've got plenty of guys who come in with like a tumbler and they'll have their own mixed drinks. Like, okay, enjoy yourself while you're at it. And some guys will bring their friggin' whiskey tasting glasses. Their what the heck do you call those fancy ones? The Copita? Copita tasting glasses, yeah. And they will have, their nice whiskeys and they will share. People are really cool about that at lounges. I mean, I'm sure that's across the board everywhere.
Unless they win it at an event and then they hoard it.
If it's your bottle and you don't want to open it yet, I get it. Whatever. I don't want to go into that too much.
We're going to judge that. We're all judging.
It's a little bit of judgment. Just a little bit. What do you call it? Just coffee. I can go coffee all day long. I had a big friggin' coffee earlier.
I don't drink as much coffee when it gets hot.
I'll drink coffee any weather. I don't care. But I will drink more iced coffee at that point. Byron, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, many cigar shops in Philly are bring your own. Plus the lounges will have places for you to leave bottles until next time. There's another spot. I think it was in the Art District. Oh, what is the name of that? Was it Industrial? No, it wasn't Industrial.
No, Industrial's in Texas.
Yeah, I'm talking about Texas. Is that the one with the
old-timey
looking bar?
No. You're thinking of something Bluff.
Yeah, I think you're right. But either way, they had a whole section where like, oh, people leave their bottles here. So if you come back and you want to leave one, go ahead. Thought that was really cool. So yeah, definitely like that too, Eduardo. The lounge I go to is bring your own. Turns into a party real quick there. There's a couple of times we were at, I think it was Cigars and More, watching the fights. And everyone brought a little bit of something here and there. And I definitely drank enough where I felt it. Like, they can tell I got to slow down. But it was worth it.
And, of course, there are different rules because obviously a lot of lounges here in California, you can't have alcohol because it's California. But when you have a private establishment like we have here at Culebras, we have a cabinet for liquor. Guys bring bottles, and they'll share. They'll put them up there. It's a little bare right now, but it is what it is. Yeah, we brought a bottle of tequila. It's almost gone.
Yeah, that actually went pretty quickly. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah.
Again.
And you can stash your own private stuff if you want in your locker. Everybody has their own private locker. So here we can have alcohol and cigars, but again, here we're not selling anything.
No.
So the rules you got to really work within the rules.
PSA again for everyone out there: your tequila has a shelf life. Tequila should be drank in the first 6 months at least, or at most.
You crack that bottle.
Cracking that.
I think that's ours. You crack it; it needs to be finished that night.
That's a different. Yeah, that's a different established rule right there. But that's a better rule, I think.
Brian is they're doing a giveaway tonight for the 20-person panel after their Blind Herf event tonight. Brian, if you want to put the details on the comment section, we'll pin it so that people can see that. And the private clubs in New York are the same way.
I like hearing that. I like that a lot.
You're right. I do want to get back out to New York. I haven't been out there in forever.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it last time. I like I said, I've always wanted to live there for like a year. Obviously, I love my West Coast. I definitely want to explore other areas, but I think New York would be fun to be there for a while. On week 8, nice. Round 2 for the 4-packs. That's awesome. I'm glad that's going well. That's really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So Hell in a Cell, from start to finish, I was really impressed with this pay-per-view from WWE. There's been one of their best pay-per-views that I fully enjoyed
In a long time.
in a long time. From the women's match to the championship match, to the main event, to the little throwaway matches in between, everything was really good. Obviously, some matches are better than others, but all in all, even if the people who were wrestling that you weren't really big fans of, they still put on a damn good show.
Yeah, there was not a single match where I was rolling my eyes at, like some of the other ones that have, especially for pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's supposed to be their big moment to shine, and it's just like, oh, could have saved this for a Monday or a Friday night. You didn't need to put this on and have people pay for it, which I don't even know if anyone does anymore because they have it's Peacock.
Peacock,
now. There's WWE Network, but now it's Peacock. I remember back in the day spending like $60 every time, so we'd have to like pick which ones we're gonna watch. Like,
yep,
can't spend $60 a month on this. Now it's not. It's like $5.99 a month.
I remember one time when I was still in grade school. I think it was before you were born. I knew there was a pay-per-view coming up, and Mom was at work, and I called her at work begging her. She's like, "Can you please order this? Can you please order this?" She's like, "No, we don't have the money for it." And I kept asking her, and she's like, "No, we don't have the money." I was like, "Mom, it's starting in half an hour." No. And then my godmother, who was watching me at the time, she's like, "You need to sit down. Your mom wants you to write a report." And I was like, "Oh, shit, I'm in trouble." I was like, "On what?" She's like, "On this." And she'd order the pay-per-view for me. So that was pretty cool. So
that's fun.
But what I really want to talk about is two things. One, no Alexa Bliss, which is garbage.
Sad.
And two, the main event. Cody Rhodes had a detached pectoral muscle, which, if you guys ever saw Triple H's match where he had his, where the bruise starts on the chest and goes all the way down the bicep, his is now down to his wrist. That's how bad the bruising is.
It's bad. It's real bad.
But he still wrestled like that. And people were like, "Oh, no, it's paint, whatever, it's makeup." And no, it is not. He tore his pectoral clean off, and he still wrestled like that. And just watching it, I was like squeamish in my chair. Like, had he just Seth had just poked him, I would have fallen over and cried.
Yeah,
I'm like, "I'm done. Tap out. I'm done."
It looked really bad. I mean, it was really bad. He's having surgery tomorrow, I think, if the news was right. And it's a 4 to 6 month recovery time. I think the fastest someone came back was 4 months.
Yeah.
Usually 5, but 6 is like the extended. Like, hey, you should be resting. But again, he's in good shape. He's not that old, so recovery should be a little easier than it was for Triple H.
Yeah.
That dude's old as hell.
But it looked bad, and he was taking some major bumps off of that area, and it just looked bad.
They did cater. I saw that. I think it was WrestleMania, whoever it does. So they catered it to protect him a little bit more. But how the hell do you protect when it's already that grotesque?
Yeah,
it was bad. Almost time for renew for the four. It's called the 420, right? The 420 blind tastings. So if there's any open spots, definitely hit them up. Got to check that out. And again, they cover the bands, or Brian will cover the bands with paper instead of removing them. So once you get to burning the outer band, you can reveal what it is. I like that idea a lot. I think that's a really cool way to do it. So I'm very excited to see that continuing and going very well. Very happy to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so that match was definitely the highlight of the entire show. I'm glad it was the main event. But again, top to bottom, the entire card was fantastic. AJ Styles did receive a pretty bad bump towards the end of his match, where were going against Judgment Day with him and Finn Balor and Liv Morgan, and a lot of people bled.
There was a lot of bleeding.
A lot of bleeding this time around.
They call it, yeah. Not expected that, but again, solid matches the entire time. All of them were fun. Pravada closing again for new members. Yeah, they do that from time to time. I think it's a good call, because once it gets too big, it's hard to get a hold of things that are rare quality or both, hopefully. Because some of them I had, like, okay, this is decent and I'll never have it again. So, it's an experience. But then when it's really good and it's really rare, I'm not gonna have it again, and I'm really bummed about that.
Mhm.
It's like, oh shit, this is a great cigar. Let me never find this again because it's now gone, which is unfortunate. But again, it's about the experience, so can't really be sad about that.
Now, Richard is saying that he thinks that Cody will be out until the Rumble, and he'll be a surprise entrant.
I think, yeah.
I don't think he would be a surprise entrant, but I do think he would be announced as his return might be at the Rumble, because what are we in now? June? So July, August, September, October, November, December, January. That'd be 7 months. So they could give him the 6 months to recover and one more month of like promos and stuff to.
Or just, again, surprise. I like the surprise angle.
I don't think it would be a surprise because most people will be waiting for him to return, so they know he's going to return within a certain time frame. So I don't think it'd be a surprise. I think they did like the vignettes, like Cody Rhodes coming back kind of a thing, and then he wins the Rumble.
I'm fine with that. Either way. Supposedly this close will be final June 13th. I think it's just the last day. Only people who can buy stuff are subscribers, plus all new members have to be referred for a possible admission. That's a big step right there. I've been checking out the what is it? Oh my goodness, what is it called? The new website that he put together, Brian.
Cigar Republic.
Cigar Republic, yeah. From time to time, it's getting more active on there, which is nice to see. It's posting pictures. I'm just a personal page. I haven't really set anything up other than that yet, but it's getting there. It's getting to where hopefully they can put an application together. It's very difficult because if you mention tobacco, they're not really going to let you have one, especially on iTunes. So getting on the Apple Store is very difficult.
Yeah.
Unless you're already there, and even then, it could take you down if they feel like it. Mark says he just buys the LCAs. Those are some great releases. There are some really good gems in there.
Yeah, I just had one the other day.
They're not all my favorites, but a lot of them are very solid. And it's nice, again, like I said, to try new things. And when it is either a one-off or like maybe you can find a couple extra later on, it's kind of nice to know that there is the potential to find some more.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Richard,
oh, yeah, a big group on there. Hell yeah.
No, we'll definitely put a group on there, yeah. Richard, the update right now is still tentative for middle of July. We are waiting to hear back from people in the DR, so that's fingers crossed right now. But I do want to get pushing on the pre-orders ASAP. I do have some ideas to include something else in there. I think we talked about it a little.
Well, once we have a firm date on the release,
then we can
do the.
I just joined Luxury Cigar Club subscription.
I hope you use our code BKGents, because if you did, you'll get free shipping up your first order. So hope you used it.
Not big into subscription, but figured I'd try it for a bit. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I love most about stuff like that, whether it's you get smoke in, whether you get luxury, whether you get who does another one? Two Guys does one, I know.
My monthly cigars.
Yeah, the unicorn one that's pretty new. No matter which one you get, the thing I really like about them is there's always a chance to get a cigar you've never had before.
Yeah.
That was my big thing with luxury. A month before they went live, I actually called them,
Tom.
and I talked to Chris for about an hour on the phone, and he told me the whole idea behind it, what they were trying to do, and it hooked me, instantly hooked me. So we've been members with them since the very first time they did their box in February 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I really like about it. You'll get some gems in there. You'll get some stuff maybe you've never heard of before, and that's awesome. That's a really big thing about subscriptions that I really like. And then some of the other ones that do, maybe not so much boutique stuff, but core line stuff, is maybe you'll get one that you haven't had in a long time, and it'll bring back those memories. Like, hey, I forgot this is a good cigar. I'm gonna go buy 5 more.
I like smoke-ins because you might not find something super new, but everything in there has always been solid to me, and it's stuff that I really like, and it's a better price point than California. Because I think it's $30 a month. You're getting 5 cigars. It's really hard to beat that, especially with some of the stuff they put in there.
Yeah.
And from time to time, they go all out. And, again, always quality, and then sometimes above and beyond, which is awesome. Yeah, and then, we got our code over at Cigar Porn as well. Don't forget about that one. Appreciate that, Richard. Love those guys, too. I got to get another shirt. I cannot find my shirt. It's killing me.
I bought you that brand new one, too.
I know. Special.
Big Ash does have a box, and if you guys didn't get her last box was amazing. You got the Underground 10, you got the 20-acre farm, you got 2 Lamperts in there, and then there was, I think, 4 other cigars. I don't remember what they were, but those 4 cigars right there, to me, were awesome.
Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember what the other ones were. I forget what they were, but compared to the first box she gave out to this box is awesome.
To getting better. That's
Yeah.
all. That's always a good sign too. Progression, getting better is always a good thing. I like seeing that.
Mhm.
But other than that, pretty much gonna wrap it for me.
Just real quick, The Offer did have another episode on Friday. The story is continuing beautifully. It is an amazing show. It is shot well. It is acted well. And every week adds upon itself, and it is fantastic. So we're going to have a really tough choice to make next month when we put up all the shows that have come out this year to go up against each other, from Bel Air to The Offer to The Boys to Moon Knight.
Obi-Wan's been
Obi-Wan.
pretty good so far. Drew. I really like Killing It.
Killing It, yeah,
Killing It
yeah,
was
Killing It,
hilarious.
yeah.
If you haven't checked that out, it's on Peacock. I think the whole season came out at once. It was a comedy. It was kind of a throwaway to some people, but I thought it was great. Tom, I kind of get that point too. The hype is real high, and all of a sudden, if you go downhill, it lets people down. So that's something to watch out for. That's a good point. It's a very good point. But yeah, we got to figure out a way to do the movie and show reviews at a different time because we have to wait a whole week to talk about it. It drives me crazy. I want to talk about it ASAP.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of new movies coming out too. I mean, we just talked about Top Gun, Bob's Burger.
Bob's Burger, yep. Got Jurassic Park in 2 days.
Yeah, that's all. Damn,
Is it Jurassic World? What is it called?
Jurassic World Dominion, I think.
Yeah, there we go.
There's good stuff coming out right now.
Yep.
Always good to see. Very happy about that.
Yeah. So, guys, before we go, don't forget, you guys can sign up for the June birthday over on the Bakersfield Gentleman page. It's pinned to the top. And, of course, you do the Best Ash contest over on our group, Cigars, Whiskey, and Beautiful Women. If you have a birthday or your spouse has a birthday in June, make sure you put that on there with the date. And, of course, you guys can post as many pictures to the Best Ash contest as you like, and we'll pick out our favorites.
Yeah. We need more live. Oh, yes, Morbius is back in theater. It is, in fact, Morbin time right now.
They did the most hilarious thing on YouTube. I got to find the video. We got to play it.
We'll show that. Actually, we got a couple to show you. Maybe we'll do it Friday. Just have a hodgepodge of ridiculousness because there's a new fighting league that everyone needs to watch. I don't want to give any spoilers. I don't want you to look it up yet. I want you to watch it with us and realize the pageantry, the art that goes into this. My God, it's a blood sport of the highest order. Only gentlemen and sophisticants who have worked their entire lives can really do this. And you're gonna want to get into it, but just for your own lives, your own safety, maybe just leave it to the professionals. But my God, it's good. More live streams, Eduardo. If we could get the Facebook supporter group to 50, I would go live every day again. I'd be able to set time aside for that.
Not only that, we want to try getting on Twitch more, playing some video games, smoking cigars, and just talking bullshit. So if you guys are into that as well, probably getting that started up again soon.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun as well.
So we've been playing a lot more video games recently, so
not well.
No, not well, not at all. Obviously it's that pie is very true. Is 90% this game's bullshit, 10% the guy's hacking, and like 0.5%. Oh, okay, maybe he was better than me.
Maybe. I think the tagline for that show is the cigars are good, we're not. That would be the gaming show right now. Yeah. So at least the cigars will be good. They'll be good cigars smoked. Just not good gameplay. All right. You can make fun of us later for that. We'll see you guys next time. See you Friday. Again, 2:00 as per usual. That's all I got for now.
Yeah, and we're still going to start gearing up in the next couple weeks, guys, for PCA. So we'll be looking at who's going to be there, who we're going to talk to, and get your guys' input on that as well.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one.
We'll see you guys.